Hey everyone, we're Group 10. In our group, we have me, Morgan, then Hayden, Nathan, and Giancarlo. First, we'll be presenting the indirect method cash flow statement. This report tracks how cash flows in and out of the company through operating, investing, and financing activities over the year. We begin with net income, which fluctuates month to month, totaling at about $12,073 for the year. We then add back depreciation, a non-cash expense totaling at $25,383 a year. Working capital adjustments like changes in accounts receivable, inventory, and accounts payable also affect our cash flow. After all these adjustments, the total net cash from operations ends positive at around $6,237 for the year. This shows that our operations are generating enough cash to support the business's day-to-day activities. In the investing section, there's a major asset purchase of $91,000 early in the year and no assets were sold. Finally, financing activities. This section includes three components: equity investment, debt financing, and debt repayment. Altogether, the total cash from financing activities ends at around $449,554, showing a strong support from external funding sources.
For the investing section of our 3-year projections, you're going to see under year 1, 2, and 3 that the asset sold is going to be $0. It's because we're trying to invest in our company. We're not trying to get rid of anything. For year 1, you're going to see $91,000 going in. That's going to be for like blenders, fridges, freezers, furniture, uniforms, anything we can to make our company look more inviting and hospitable, as well as essential tools, keep and do what we need to do. And then for year 2 and 3 after that is each year has $5,000, and that's what I've calculated would likely be needed in case equipment breaks, uniform changes, stuff like that. So that wraps up our investing. For the beginning, change, and ending of our 3-year projection, start off at 0. It's going to count for the financing of each year, which is about $450,000 of total financing that goes into it, which keeps us more than well into the green and never dipping once below the positives. Year 1 ends at $379,537. Year 2, $850,721, and year 3, we end off at $1.326 million.
In year 2, the company's cash flow statement shows strong improvement compared to year 1. Operating activities remain the main source of cash inflow. The year's net income totaled around $13,000, with additional non-cash expenses like depreciation of $29,000 added back. Adjustments from accounts receivable, inventory, and accounts payable also contributed to the total operating cash flow. Altogether, operating activities generated roughly $7,000 in positive cash flow, showing the company's ability to keep generating steady income from its core operations. Under investing activities, the business made another asset purchase of $50,000, which reflects continued investment and growth in long-term assets. In the financing section, there was a consistent outside support helping fund the asset purchase. Regular debt payments totaling around $10,000 were also made, keeping liabilities under control. By the end of the year, the company's total cash position increased, showing that even after reinvesting in assets, the business maintained a healthy cash balance. Now moving to year 3, and year 3 continued the trend of financial stability and gradual growth. Operating income rose to about $15,000, supported gain by consistent depreciation of around $33,000 and changes in working capital accounts like inventory and payables. Overall, the net cash from operations remained positive, showing the company's daily business activities are consistently bringing in the cash. In the investing section, there was a small asset purchased of $5,000. On the financing side, the company kept a stable structure. $90,000 of that was in equity investment and $360,000 of that was in debt financing, along with regular debt repayments totaling around $10,000 once again. By the end of year 3, the company's cash balance grew just over $1.3 million.
This is Giancarlo, and this is our balance sheet for 2026 through 2028. Starting with 2026, we ended the year with $380,000 in cash straight from our cash flow statement and $6,200 in accounts receivable. We don't have inventory listed yet, so our total current assets are about $386,000. For long-term assets, we brought about $91,000 worth of equipment like blenders and fridges, and after depreciation of $25,000, our net fixed assets are about $65,600. That gives us total assets of roughly $452,000. On the liability side, we have a current portion of long-term debt of $10,400, and our remaining loan balance is around $349,900, putting total liabilities close to $360,000. We also have $90,000 of equity invested, leaving a small retained earning balance of $1,700 for 2026. Moving into 2027 and 2028, the main changes are from depreciation and debt reduction. So our equipment stays the same, but depreciation increases each year by $25,000, lowering total assets slightly. We continue paying $10,400 of debt each year, which slowly reduces our long-term liabilities, but cash and accounts receivables are carried forward for now until updated cash flow numbers are finalized. By 2028, the business stays financially stable with steady debt reduction, growing equity, and consistent asset values. So this shows a solid foundation and strong liquidity in 2026 and a gradual balance improvement over time as we pay off debt and build retained earnings.
Overall, year one was a strong start for the company with about $86,000 in revenue. It managed costs well and ended with a net income of roughly $11,400 after expenses and taxes. The company maintained solid profit margins, kept operating expenses under control, and showed consistent growth throughout the year.
For my financial projections, I made a 3-year income statement. I used the same setup and formulas we learned in the lecture. Each year shows my monthly sales, costs, and profits. The numbers grow based on my sales projections. In year 2, I increased sales by 20% as the business grows. Total sales were about $99,000. My main expenses like labor and supplies went up with the sales, but they stayed in the same ratio as year 1. My fixed costs like utilities and insurance went up a little for inflation. After everything, net income was about $13,000, which shows steady improvement. For year 3, I planned a 15% increase in sales. Sales reached around $114,000. Because most expenses stayed the same, profits grew faster than costs. After taxes, net income was about $15,000. This shows the business growing in a healthy and realistic way. Over 3 years, my revenue kept rising and profits grow each year. My expenses stay under control and the business becomes more efficient. These income statements show that with steady sales growth and good cost management, the business can stay profitable long term.